and welcome to Science with Simpson. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you've had a great summer. One thing I want to say to everybody, y'all need science. So let's get started on some things that you need to know more about Google Classroom and what's expected for your first week of school. Hey again, what I wanted to go ahead and show you is by now, since you followed the directions, you have logged into your .NET. From your .NET, what I want you to pay attention to are these 9 squares. Once you click on your 9 squares, it will take you to Google Classroom. And from Google Classroom, this is if you are on a Chromebook or a laptop. And we'll talk a little bit if you're on your iPad. If you're on your iPad, all you need to do is click the Google Classroom app and go ahead and log into your Google Classroom with your .NET credentials. From here, I'm going to go ahead and click on to Science with Simpson Period 1. And everything that you need to know, updates, this video are in the stream. That's where announcements will be. But our classwork for this first week of school is all located underneath the tab called Classwork. Once you click on Classwork, here's what you'll see. You'll see the science expectations and assignment for this very first week of school. The icon that goes along with this is the material icon, and you can see that it has a bookmark right here with it. So you'll go ahead and click on those science expectations, and what you'll find inside of the science expectations first is a Google Doc. This Google Doc has everything that you need for the entire week of school. All right, as you're taking a look at that Google Doc right here, you'll see Biology with Simpson. And on this Google Doc, it has everything you need for this first week of school. So you want to read this here. I've also hyperlinked some important things like when our live session is at 2:05 every Thursday. And just please read all the fine print, because it talks about, even though we only have a live session scheduled for Thursday, there may be other times that I want to meet with you. But the bottom line is everything that you need for the week will be right here on this Google Doc. It's your one-stop shop. Up next are all the assignments that you have for this week. So attached, they're all here in this Google Doc, but let's go ahead back to Google Classroom and take a look at these assignments. Right here, you'll see your student vision board and your biology first week choice board. Below is your vision board. So I put these in materials so you could always look at them. In materials that you cannot edit them, but down here below you can. So when you click on vision board, what you will see is every student has a copy. And so the first slide is my example of a vision board. So what I've done is I've shown you some of my goals, and what you do with this is you answer 5 questions to brainstorm your goals for the year. So what's an academic goal? What are some different things that you would like to do in travel, places you'd like to go and see after, not necessarily after COVID-19, but once we're allowed to travel? What is an athletic hobby or personal goal you might have? Who are people in your life you want to celebrate with and support this year, and why? And then what's a cause that you can really get behind and devote yourself with service and help? And so once you've answered and brainstormed on those, here is a blank template that you can use. Now, by all means, if you don't like this template, you can surely create your own and upload it here to this assignment. So that is your first assignment that is labeled, and you'll notice this, it's labeled practice, which just means it's worth 20%. Up next in the Google Choice Boards, and let me show you what this Google Choice Boards looks like. It has, on the Google Choice Board, it has lots of different activities and things for you to do. So first you'll see, read everything. The science department this year has taken on focusing on the school mission statement, which is creating Renaissance thinkers for the digital age. Our focus Renaissance thinker for biology class is Fibonacci. And Fibonacci he has inspired geometry and biology. And so we really want to focus on his thinking in the Renaissance age and how it has contributed for us here in the digital age. And some things I want you to know about Fibonacci were he was a mathematician, actually the greatest Western mathematician of the Renaissance. And without him, we would not have had the scientific revolution or rebirth that we have had. He introduced us to the modern number system. Actually, he helped us with numerators, denominators, lots of ratios. That's where you see that in math, and has helped us flourish in the areas of science and math. The first thing I really want you to do is watch this TED Talk. It's about 10 minutes, but it talks of the magic of the Fibonacci sequence, and it really helps you see patterns and how those patterns grow and develop within a square. But if we really were to take an arc through a square, how it develops into a spiral and repeats and repeats and repeats. Up next is the Fibonacci numbers in nature, and I really want you to see how in nature, even down to seashells, down to the sunflowers in my front yard, and how they're positioned within their flower, the seeds, a pineapple, that pine cone. What I want you to see is how these numbers and those spirals work in nature, and there's a Google Doc for you to complete. Here's a really cool video, again, about those sequences in nature, and you can see the pine cone there. Up next is a link, just because I wanted you to see more of these sequences in math, to look at the golden mean, to look at the ratio in Fibonacci rule 2. Now, these last 3 activities, one is for you to actually draw the Fibonacci spiral, and you're going to start with the pattern. Always begin with 0, and here we can see 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, 5 plus 8 would be 13. You're going to fill in the next numbers in the pattern. You're also going to go ahead and start drawing your squares. It's 1 cubic square is 1, and from there you would draw 1 and 1 cubic square, which would make 2, and then you'll double that size, 2 by 2, and so on, and you'll draw that spiral through there. I love this activity here to complete a Fibonacci sequence by unscrambling some art. It's very cool. You'll have a picture of artwork, and you have to look at the numbers of the pattern to unscramble it. And last but not least, the way that we are going to creatively demonstrate how we're Renaissance thinkers this week in the digital age is I want you to go out in nature, and I want you to find something. Now, nature could be a pine cone, could be a flower, could be a pineapple at the grocery store, could be a seashell. But I want you to take a picture of that item that you found in nature, and I want you to see that spiral, how that pattern repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. And what I want you to do is find either your drawn Fibonacci spiral or maybe an overlay that you have found an image on the internet. But I want you to take that photograph of what you have and overlay that Fibonacci spiral so we can see it demonstrated. And then you're going to turn that into me on a slide. You're going to be creative, give it a title, and also have fun with it. And that way we are demonstrating how the Renaissance has really and truly inspired us to be deeper thinkers, to see patterns and to see design in this digital age, and then to take it and run with it, and just to see how math and design and science all go hand in hand. We couldn't have one without the other. So that is what this week looks like. On Thursday, we will be meeting live and of course talking a lot more about Fibonacci, but I want you to see in your Google Classroom those due dates for this week. You have, look at your assignments. There's 4 assignments. Actually, just kidding. There's 5 assignments. Your vision board, your Fibonacci numbers in nature. It's a Google Doc that you've got to fill out. So you're going to read this PDF and then answer these Google Doc questions. There's 10 questions and they're each worth 10 points. So you're going to do your best and fill this out and answer them from the reading, and they'll be marked incorrect or correct based on what you've seen. But this should be, you're not going to give me junk answers. You're going to look and see, and if it gives you a space, of course, it's a 1-word answer. But it gives you a little bit of, if it gives you a little bit of time to write in, then make sure you're typing in that answer. So here you have it. That is your Google Doc that goes along with your article. Up next would be the Science Scrambler, and so this is really cool. What it is everybody gets their own Google slide, but from the pattern, you're just going to go ahead and start, and of course there's 2 ones, and that should help you, but you're going to put this in order based on the Fibonacci sequence, and then you'll be turning that into me and submitting it. It shouldn't take you more than 4 minutes to do. And drawing your Fibonacci spiral, here's a YouTube video attached to help you with that. Upload it on a paper and take a picture of it. And last is that image that you're taking with your phone or with an iPad or some type of device out there in the real world, and you're going to show me that pattern, how it repeats and repeats and repeats. And I cannot wait to learn more with you about this and really get moving in biology and seeing how patterns, even in DNA, how they replicate themselves over and over and over. It's all coding, and that is how we're designed. So I'm looking forward to a great week, and let me know how I can help. We're back. Y'all need science.